Hey everybody! Welcome to All Elite with Keeks and Friends. I am Keeks. I'm here with my work husband, Drip Drip.
Davis,
Hey, work
aka Drip.
husband.
Yeah.
All right, if y'all hear a dog in the background, I am so sorry. It's a little dog. I'm sorry. All right.
But yeah. I'm doing well. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we talked about this when we were in Dallas, WrestleMania weekend. Said you had your show coming up. You wanted to debut it after Double or Nothing. I said, hey, let's do it. I mean, you are the number one droplet. So I think it only made sense because I guess, we're one of the pro AEW people within the IWC. That's only made sense, I guess, for me to be part of this show with you. And now we're here.
Yes, we're here. The chat's going off right now. Hey, Cal.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Randy. Hey, everybody. Today, we're going to get into, I know y'all been waiting on this. But before we get started, I do want to thank everybody for supporting me. Everybody knows I'm an AEW stan. I've been asked this for a while to do an AEW based show for a long time, and I'm finally doing it. So y'all better support me, shit. Y'all better support me. But this show, just a little introductory about the show. The show is based off of AEW. We may throw in some references to other shows just to make a point in our topics, but it's based off of AEW and AEW only. The good, the bad, the jokes, things that we've seen on the timeline, and of course, just to keep you up to date with everything. Because it's not a lot of AEW content or people that are able to enjoy AEW in a safe space. So you're safe here, Drip. You're safe here, okay? As long as I'm here, you are safe here. You are safe to be an AEW stand up in here, first and foremost, because I'm not having it. Hey, peeps.
Hey, peeps. No, I think, like you said, like what we talking AEW. I mean, you obviously are a big AAA fan, and they have some crossover with AEW as well. I mean, Forbidden Door is coming up in June. We're almost in June, actually, and that'll be the end of the month. So maybe some New Japan talk as well. Given that, and they have a working relationship, ROH, once they start up fully again, that's basically tied into AEW as a whole. So, I mean, this is a safe space. I think I'm one of those people who in the safe space will actually be like, well, actually, but I think that's kind of why our dynamic will work. I do like AEW. I kind of have been on board since the start, but I do see the faults, or at least the faults in my eyes.
He's the fault guy, not me, y'all.
Of what's wrong. And there are some things that are wrong, but there are some things that are great as well. And this, I think, most recent pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, kind of showed that more than Revolution did. I think all of Revolution is like, wow, this is, when they're on, they're on. But Double or Nothing was, they kind of hit and miss. It's either home run or strikeout. It's pretty cut and dry like that sometimes.
Double or Nothing is fun. That's what it's about. It's about fun. You're in Vegas to have fun. We'll get into it, Drew, because I'm about to argue with you.
But I mean, in Vegas, you either strike it big, strike it big, and you win large, or you go broke.
Okay, we about to get started on Double or Nothing. Everybody tuned in to Double or Nothing. It was very fun event. It's not meant to be taken too seriously because for 3 years it's always been fun. It's about fun. Drip. It's about fun.
Nice. I mean, Hookhausen was fun. I can say that.
This is for the women only. This is the women's only hat. It's not a men. I mean, no shade, but it's the women's only hat. I'm the head droplet, so that's why I got it on.
But no, I mean, you saying fun. Hookhausen versus Tony Nese, Smart Mark Sterling, that was fun. I thought
that was a really fun match.
I mean, it was what it was. I mean, Danhausen, he kind of pulled the Orange Cassidy. You know, he did some moves and then went right back to like his comedy shtick. And then Hook showed up, threw some people around, and pretty easy. Not a bad pre-show match. And this was a pre-show that only had just the one match. Revolution, that was when they had your girl, Chris the Stallion, and Layla Hirsch have a pretty good match.
Right.
They had the original of the tag team, right? It was Pac and Penna versus Aleister Black and Brody King, Malachi Black and Brody King, and then this time they did the 6-man tag. We'll get into that later, but it was a pre-show with just this, and I think that maybe that's what kind of pissed everyone off with the length of the show, which we'll get into. Everyone can stop kind of crying, I think, about how long the show was when there's one every 3 to 4 months, and there's 3 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Friday, and then come Sunday there will be a 3-hour pay-per-view. So let's chill on all these shows are too long when you're watching that amount of the other side's content within a given week. So,
and also it's been a long time since we had this feel like a WrestleMania 17. You know how long that card was? It's been a long time since we had a long ass card. So
I don't think you can compare the two in terms of stature.
I'm saying as far as the length, because WrestleMania 17 was long.
Yeah.
It was like 13, 14 matches.
There was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, Creek. But
yeah, you want to start
into the first match, the elephant in the room. That's what I'm gonna call it. Let's get the elephant in the room. Come on, Graham.
He showed up. That was amazing. All weekend I thought it was a work. I'm not gonna explain as to why. A lot of times I do think things are a work, but I think they wanted to play off what he's been talking about in his promos and outside of AEW as well.
Right.
There might be some shade with the Sasha Naomi situation going on as well, but I don't think at the end of the day MJF was gonna no show like people were reporting. I think he's smarter because look what happened. Like they booed him out of the building the minute he showed up. I think that's why he's like, I at least got to show up. And they delayed the entrance. He still walked out after like 15 seconds. Like, is this guy even gonna show? And then they just booed the shit out of him the entire.
That's
match.
Exactly what they was chanting. He showed up. It was that, and then also he's showing up a little bit late, and then his facial expression that also showed a lot too. So, and then he did the whole plane thing inside the ring to talk to the fans because the fans was saying all types of shit up in there. I heard one lady was saying go to Cody, go to your daddy. They call him the Cody boy. Well, he is one of the Cody boys. So
he is, yeah, unfortunately.
It was a lot. It was a lot going on. But would you say it was a squash match, or what do you think?
It was definitely a squash match. Right after I had talked to Pam and Cal, I'm like, this was the face version of Brock Lesnar, John Cena in SummerSlam 2014. Like, this time the good guy just beat the shit out of the heel. Like, and they had some good moments, like the whole spot with the ring and Bryce Remsburg looking over the whole time and just grabbing like, thank you. I thought there was some great storytelling that way, and again, he just powerbombed him. 10
times.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. MJF, fuck you, MJ. Yeah, they did.
But I think that works for him. Who knows when we'll see him again? They did the stretcher job, which is always kind of a sign that we might not be seeing someone for a while.
Yeah.
And they haven't announced anything with him yet if he'll be on Dynamite or Rampage. But
it is rumored that he is in California for Wednesday, but I don't know. That's the last that I've heard of it.
Yeah. I don't want to be too surprising, but I said this last week on Black Rasslin, but what do you think this means for Wardlow going forward? Do you think he can be someone within the company now that he's kind of had this storyline to get him over as a base?
Absolutely. He has the physique. He has, of course, the fan base. He'll be a great baby face.
We've seen what they've done to their baby faces, though. We'll get into that towards the end, but
Drip, don't start.
I know what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm part of that. I think that whole situation, I'm on
don't start.
I'm just saying, like,
because they was telling me that he a baby face, but we'll get into that. They was telling me.
Yeah, if he goes on a Goldberg-esque run like what they've been doing with Jade Cargill, I think that's kind of his biggest strength. But let's not put too much on Wardlow now that he doesn't have someone like MJF to carry the rest of the program because not everyone else can do that in AEW. But no, I enjoyed it for what it was, which was just a nice squash match.
Yeah, get the elephant out the room. Yeah.
The next match I didn't enjoy at all, unfortunately.
Don't do my boys. Don't. Look at them, y'all. First, hold on. Put the picture back up, Graham. Put it back. Look at the attire. Look at that. Look at Matt Jackson.
Yeah, again, this Elvis movie is coming out. I don't give a fuck about Elvis. Like, and this is the second time in a Double or Nothing. They're like, Elvis, baby. And I'm like, no. Like, we get it because you have
Vegas.
Because you have the mutton chops and all. Like, no.
Elvis, first of all, we know it's I'm not gonna say it on air. We know the truth about Elvis, but you can't speak on Vegas without speaking on Elvis. It's just words. I'm sorry. That's just how it is.
Yeah, but then who do they face? They face the two guys that should have retired about 5 years ago, unfortunately.
Reportedly, they said Jeff was still sore from the match that he had with Darby Allin. Obviously, we could tell he was very winded. Matt Hardy can only do so much,
to begin with,
he can only do so much. He did the best that he could at his age, so I'm not gonna put that past him.
However, this went 19 minutes, Keeks, which means
you're gonna get your money's worth. You paid,
which means $50. It was the third longest match on the card.
You're gonna get your $50. You're gonna get your money's worth. Everybody's about to go.
What did Chappelle say? They started chanting, "We want our money back. We want our money." That was this match.
No, that was chanting, "This is awesome." The crowd was into it. Listen, when it comes to AEW, y'all gonna have to put what y'all want to the side and just listen to the fan base at the stadium. The fans liked it. The drinks was kicking in, so of course the fans liked it.
I think this was I think maybe the Bucks have taken over the Cody spot now of our match gets the most time if it's not a title feud. However, that being used with the Hardys, the 2022 versions of the Hardys is not a I ain't with that. You can have a 19-minute match with any other tag team that they have, because again they have an insane tag team division, but not broken down Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy who's moving gingerly. That was the whole thing. The match, I'm like, God, this poor fucker. He just, it's sad to see. It was the thing why I never liked the Undertaker last decade. It's like every match was just like, just stop already, please. Yeah.
And even when he did the swanton on the stairs, I was just like, come on, Jeff, you don't have to do this no more.
And you had said it too. Your boys, they sold the hell out of the match. They carry that match, very Shawn Michaels-esque, like versus that racist piece of shit Terry Bollea when he's just like bouncing all over the place. That was Matt and Nick this whole match, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked that the Hardys went over, because that just made me be like, did they want to they want to pay homage and pay them their respects? I can respect that a little bit, but still,
because my boys like giving people their moment.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense in a way, but are we done with this one? Because I don't know what I don't want to be too mean to Jeff Hardy.
Fine, Drip. We'll move on to the next match because Drip don't want to talk about it.
No, say what do you want to say about it? I mean,
it was for the fans, and the fans got what they wanted. They was cheering. They was happy.
They cheer everything though.
Well, Jeff a bum. Hey, we don't talk no Jeff Hardy slander up in here.
No, I wouldn't say he's a bum. I'm just saying, like, it's at this point.
No, it's the comment that said Jeff a bum. No,
I know. I'm saying I would never say it. I'm just saying, like, all the wear and tear on his body. You don't need to keep doing this at this stage. Like, with everything you've done, like you said, WrestleMania 17. Look at him in that match. I mean, 20 years ago, and then look at him now.
What is all this Jeff slander? What is wrong with y'all? Was y'all one of the ones during childhood that didn't have y'all wasn't? What's wrong with y'all?
Matt Hardy, on the other hand, deserves all the slander. Yeah.
Don't do that. Matt Hardy carried the match too.
Okay, you know what? Let's all right. So we have Jade Cargill, right?
Next match, Graham. Yes, indeed.
there she is. The star of the company, basically. She got the superstar entrance.
Yes.
One of the only few. Yeah, no, I mean, Hangman Page. I was pissed Hangman Page didn't get one, but we'll get to that towards the end of the show. But I mean, she got the entrance with, again, you see the models and the baddies come out at the end of the match. But her and Anna Jay, Anna Jay wasn't the best partner for Jade, I'll say.
I will say Anna Jay is getting better.
No, she's not bad. It's just
in the ring. She botches way too much still, but she is getting a lot better from when I first seen her 2 years ago. I guess it takes time. I don't know. It's just
no, it totally does, because you can see with Jade at times too, where some stuff she's like, ugh, but then other stuff she's like, oh, that was perfect. It's again, and again with her case, it's barely a year and a half in, but Jade works best, and I'm not saying because it's just Thunder Rosa, but like with a Thunder Rosa type. Her and AQA had a good match a few months ago. I think she needs the smaller, high-flying type, so her power style works best. I mean, I think her and Tony Storm might be able to get the best match out of her when they eventually. I mean, besides Chris Statlander, obviously.
Right. Jade. The only issue that I have with Jade, she's not confident with certain moves, and it shows. Yeah. It shows a lot. I think,
and it seems like with the simple stuff in terms of like kind of like selling simple strikes like in the corner, right. but then she sold a lot more on once like Angie was like pushing her to the steps and all that. I was impressed by her. Like they had the match on Rampage a while back. That's why I was like, oh, they're giving Jade Cargill an easy win just because they want to have her on the pay-per-view, which makes sense. But it picked up towards the end. I thought the last final 5 minutes was amazing for kind of how shaky it was in the beginning, but then the Smart Mark stuff, and then Stokely. Okay, so let's get into Stokely Hathaway showing up.
Okay.
Obviously, I think we as a collective on wrestling Twitter, like manifest this, rightfully so, and Tony Khan is great in terms of listening to the fans with something like this. But then he shows how bad of a booker he is when Stokely Hathaway just shows up out of nowhere. And everyone's like, who's he going to help? And he doesn't even really help. Anna Jay just gets distracted after the baddies try to help. And then after Smart Mark tries to help. So it's Tony Khan doesn't know how to book stories. He knows how to book matches and moments.
Because, like I've said before on Twitter, Warner Media has it now that AEW is a sports-based show, not an entertainment show that you probably will want. So it's just going to be matches. It's going to be like it's basically like if you don't see it on Twitter or anything or on Dark, then that's just your damn fault. That's basically what they're on now.
No, I 100% agree, because something like I had said this few weeks ago, like the strength of AEW is Hangman Page and Takeshita and Ray Phoenix versus Kyle O'Reilly. Matches, like send two people out, have them work. Don't do all the extra shit that you're not really good at. I mean, that's the whole point of this Jericho Appreciation Society and the feuds that they'll be having in the future. But that someone like Chris Jericho's been doing it for 30 years. He knows how to do it. Everyone else can't. MJF is the one who can, but they recycle his story over and over, where someone has to go through trials and trials and trials. But so to have Stokely Hathaway show up out of nowhere and her side with him, it was just very like shotgun, like surprise for surprise sakes. And then the match ends. What happens, Keeks? Something that you've been manifesting for weeks, months even, I believe.
It's coming all out, y'all. All out is happening. Just know that. It's going to be Chris the Stallion versus Jade at All Out. It's happening.
I don't think so. I think because we had another debut this night as well. And I think it's going to be a deep.
The fallen goddess Athena! And she is a physical woman. Shocked to see her here.
What did JR mean by that?
It's not going to be her. It's not. You know why? Because when they had a Twitter exchange going back and forth, they just don't have a match. But it's not TBS championship because they already starting to invest in Chris Statlander. When Ruby Soho got booed, he picked up on that. So it's going to be Chris the Stallion versus Jade Cargill. Athena is just another one of them because her and Jade had that interaction on Twitter months back. When she was saying, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. No, I think it'll happen. I think Athena will happen first because, because Tony Khan does the watch this hand now, while the other hand's over there. As we'll see in our next match with the Julia Hart reveal finally rearing its paint-covered head. But no, I mean, obviously you just mentioned it, Chris Statlander.
Yeah, because she really wants Thunder Rosa. That's why she's there.
Yeah, I mean, but Chris Statlander versus Jade probably will be somewhat next, but Athena, and just like the way she reacts to her showing up was the best part of that segment. She was just kind of like not impressed.
Mm-hmm. I tell people all the time, look at how Jade looks at Chris the Stallion, then look how she looks at everybody else. Even when Athena showed up, she didn't care. But when Chris the Stallion showed up,
I think the problem was that no one really cared when Athena showed up.
When she showed up, it's like, okay. But then when Athena showed up, it's just like, oh, whatever.
But you don't think Jade Cargill beats Chris Statlander and then challenges Thunder Rosa? You don't think she goes for both belts? You think?
Oh, she's going to be AEW champion. She's going to be the next women's champion. Yeah.
All right. So she'll drop the one belt and then go for the other. Okay.
Yeah. She's Britt Baker, of course, is an investment, but Jade is an investment as well. That's why they last minute put her on the card.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. They had saw like how the card was shaping. Same thing with the TNT title, and we'll get to that coming up soon. But yeah, they realized like, well, we need the biggest star and like the next biggest star in the company on the card. And that's why I mean when this man just like, and you see it every week on Dynamite when he just adds an extra match 20 minutes before the show goes on the air, and it's normally the Blackpool Combat Club where he's like, and they're having a match. It's like, did you realize you had an extra 15 minutes to fill, or are you just again, I think he's just like surprises too much. And this again, it's not an AEW pay-per-view unless someone debuts. It was Swerve previously, it's been Ruby Soho previously. I mean, it happens over and over, which is I guess something to look forward to in a way. NXT would have so-and-so's in the crowd. That was one of the best parts of TakeOver when they would debut EC3, Keith Lee. I mean, Adam Cole showed up at the end of TakeOver Brooklyn that one year. So don't mock AEW for like all that I have to do is debut, because one of the best parts of NXT, which I was a huge fan of, was who's going to be in the crowd at this TakeOver.
Right. And what was I about to say? I was about to say something. The reason I call her Chris the Stallion, for people questioning that, she's literally built like Meg the Stallion, just white. Like, she can wear sweatpants, you still gonna see her thickness. Like, you know what I'm saying? And she doesn't use it as a personality trait like some folks. But moving along.
Whom, you might be asked.
Mega the Stallion.
Next up, what might be my second favorite match of the night. And it was going to be the best match of the night on the card, just kind of when you saw who was involved, and that's House of Black versus Death Triangle.
Run that image, Graham. There you go.
Again, just the names: Pac, Penta, Phoenix, Buddy Matthews, Malachi Black, Brody King, and I don't think they need 6-man titles, but
it's coming. The belts are already made.
It is going to come. I'm saying, but I don't know if they need, because it's like, what other teams besides these two teams can really like rival? I mean, I guess Blackpool Combat Club and others. I mean, Kingston and probably Santana and Ortiz. But I mean, these two teams, they just like put it on. Like, it was spots, strikes. It was all of it. Like,
that's why I'm kind of assuming that AAA may be in this Forbidden Door that's coming up, because it only makes sense. That's what I feel like, because it's a lot of wrestlers over there that kind of been talking shit. Basically, like, the best wrestlers are not in Japan, and in America, they're here. They've been saying it a lot, especially on Triple Mania cards. So that's why I'm just like, I don't know what they're up to, but maybe we'll see it on Forbidden Door. I'm not sure yet.
I mean, I thought mainly New Japan, I don't know if they still do, but had the relationship with CMLL. So I think that would kind of like not have them be able to work with AAA. Like I said, I know they
Well,
work.
AAA don't really work with them too much. They only work with certain wrestlers. But
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think they
nice,
work
yeah.
with the brand. I don't think nobody wants to. They're like
But we've seen again
worse than WWE right now.
Andrade, Sammy, Kenny like go back and forth between AAA and AEW. Maybe they just do a AAA AEW, like a Forbidden Door version of that instead of having New Japan involved. Maybe they can do that in the fall. Like Forbidden Door 2 is AEW AAA because, like I said, they have so many guys that can bring in. I mean, I've really only just seen highlights of it. When your favorite's Vikingo, like he can come in and just put on with whoever. But so this match finally paid off the Julia Hart reveal that pissed everyone, myself included, off a few weeks ago.
I told you to be patient.
You can't be patient in the society where we binge watch everything. And
Boy, I'm a Cowboys fan. All I have is patience.
Yeah, that works for you because you also know like your time's ever coming. So like,
hey, mijo.
Is
that how you say it? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying like the Julia Hart, but also like why Julia Hart out of like all the women on the roster? Like,
I think Black saw something in her. And plus, we're trying to work on the women's division there. So I think, you know, it was something about her like, hey, what about that chick? Because fucking, what's the name? They not doing, nobody cares about him. But he kind of ruined
Varsity Blondes, yeah.
Yeah, but he ruined that on his own by being on that anti-cancel culture. He did that on his stuff because people was liking him. And then he started doing that. It's just like, okay, bro, we don't care for you no more.
Yeah, but no, that was my only thing was like out of all the women, it's just like her, like okay. I mean, like you said, that they must see something in her, and I think it's like typical, like the cheerleader chick turns goth as well, like playing off that trope. So maybe they're trying to go like full high school drama with it. But no, like this match, I guess it seems like the feud's over, and if they're going to do 6-man titles, they might as well do them soon. Cause I mean, these two teams and the individuals, like they can do a best of series with like Penta versus Malachi and then Penta versus Buddy Matthews. Like they can swap out each guy and have a constant like rotation of matches. Cause Brody King's a great wrestler for a guy like his size to be hanging with Penta and Phoenix and Pac.
Speaking of Penta, everybody that's on the chat, do we all agree that Penta has the best Canadian destroyer currently?
Yeah, because he can hit it on the outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The nigga swung his body to the side.
Yeah. I see, because then like he'll bounce off someone and hit it. Yeah.
Do we agree on that? Don't mention no Seth Rollins, nothing.
Well, Seth Rollins
we got one for Vaughn. I said currently, not all time, but currently, like right now. Yes, he has. The Mexican district. That's what we calling it. That's what we calling it right there. The Mexican. Yes.
Well, yeah, that's why they call it. That's why Adam Cole calls it the Panama Sunrise. So it's like not the Canadian Destroyer. But yeah, and again, everyone knew this match was going to be the match of the night, and I think it was. But
yeah, this was probably one of the best trio matches I've seen in a while.
That's what I was trying to think of. Like, what was one of like the last ones I saw that was like that great? I mean, I'm shocked you'd probably say when they had the Bucks and Kenny involved.
Because the one that they had with Dante Martin and that was a good one. I've seen some great trio matches even before Tony bought ROH. Yeah, and AAA has some great trio matches too. The one that they had recently with Andrade and Bandito in it, that was, well, I wouldn't say that because it's one person that was on there that I just didn't care for. But I ain't gonna say no names. Because I'm a fan of her husband. So I ain't gonna say. Next match. Pull out the next one, Graham.
Well, I have it right here. It's no. We have the first part of the Owen Hart tournament final. It's a
Adam
match.
Cole, baby.
A match that was somewhat a year in the making. I think I was reminded of it because of the Public Enemy's account that Samoa Joe was choking out Adam Cole last summer. And I was like, oh shit, I like kind of forgot about that because Samoa Joe being the enforcer of William Regal was like, oh yeah, that happened. And then he wrestled a match and then they're like, we don't want you wrestling anymore. But like this match, I got to rewatch this match. It was good. But the link I had was kind of in and out around this time. So I was like, ah, shit.
You know it's all about that boom. Y'all know my kids love Adam Cole.
Who doesn't love Adam Cole besides Math? I mean, I can't think of anyone else that doesn't love Adam Cole.
And Cal, he talks shit about him too.
That is true. He does, yeah.
If you were Adam Cole ops, you can't be in here. We Adam Cole up in here.
I guess it finally helped his case to prove that he wasn't being misused or that he was washed to finally win something. Granted, it's just a tournament and they got a trophy and some belts, but a win's a win. And him and Samoa Joe, they had a good match. And then people were like, "Oh, we should have seen it coming." He was dressed in all pink.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna win. I told you he was gonna win.
We also knew it was coming because Samoa Joe walked out without the ROH title belt, which is kind of a signifier. Like if someone has the title and they don't walk out with it, that means they're gonna lose. Like,
yeah,
or they don't want to be looked as weak and all that. But I got to run this one back. But then the next match, I was like, you know what? This is my real bathroom break because I didn't watch the next match at all because I ain't got time to watch Britt Baker try and wrestle.
I just want to say to the AEW stands watching, I'm trying my hardest. I never got into Ruby Soho, and it has nothing to do with her being a punk rocker chick because I like Rhea Ripley. It has nothing to do with that. I'm trying my best to get into her, but she's missing something, and I just cannot put my finger on it. I don't know what it is, and I'm trying. I'm really trying, y'all, because I just cannot get into her. I never could.
You know, like the punk rock entrance?
I just never could, huh?
You know, like that they had a live band sing her entrance?
Listen, I've dealt with Limp Bizkit and Kid Rock my whole childhood because of WWE. I am tired of the headbanging music. I don't want to hear it no more.
First off,
who are these niggas?
Rancid. Big Mike, my dad would know about Rancid. Yeah, punk rock is just a lot of like singing this.
I'm tired of that.
With punk rock, you say a lot of the same lyrics. You just repeat it over and over because that's the point of the song is to be like catchy and upbeat and like rapid. Like, but no, I agree. And like I think this match pointed out. I think the match with Chris Statlander also pointed out that like I told this to Cal. I'm like, I had kind of like always seen Liv Morgan as the one in that faction, and I saw like something in Liv Morgan before she even like joined.
I don't see nothing in her either, but.
Out of the three of them, I'm like, Liv Morgan's really the one who's like the best because like, at least she can like sell really well. She can be like Dolph Ziggler, and all she has to do is like get somewhat decent offense. But Ruby Soho, I mean, when she was Ruby Riott, it just like it's the whole like you try to seem like you're better than you are.
You think you're special.
Basically. Like I'm like, and then when you watch her, like, you're not that special. I mean, like you said, like Chris Statlander. I mean, Red Velvet's kind of improving. Tony Storm's there.
Red Velvet gonna be a dog. She's gonna have that dog in her soon. You saw that clip?
Just a little bit of it, but I mean, Jamie Hayter, she's got something.
Oh yeah, she been there. Listen. All the wrestlers that's in AEW that walked in stardom.
Well, I should probably say something like that. Yeah. But I mean, no, but Ruby Soho, yeah, Thunder Rosa, obviously, and Serena Deep, and we'll get to that too. I mean, Ruby Soho, it's just like, I think she was already C level in WWE, and she came to here and is still kind of like C level.
She needs to go to Stardom or something for like 6 months. Then you'll probably get better. I don't know.
I don't think she's bad. It's just like it's not like impressive or engaging. I forgot who I talked about. I had said that about someone before. I'm like, they're not bad. It's just like, I don't care to watch you do that. Like, you do nothing that's like flashy or like, ooh, like.
That's why you my work husband. See, That's why you're my work husband, because I couldn't find it, but that's how I feel about her.
I'm trying to. Hopefully, I can remember. There was someone like that recently. Where it was like, yeah, they're just. But
The
I mean,
Owen championship title. Yes, it did. That was like the flyest belt I ever seen. That Owen championship belt.
It was okay. I mean, it's a commemorative title belt. I just thought like the whole gesture of the tournament I thought was a nice thing overall, and I was happy for that. But like,
you think you're special?
But how it was handled, I was a little bit just after it all played out like this. You know, I mean, me and my girlfriend.
He was gonna propose to her.
I
was waiting on him to get on one knee or something. I was like, he about to propose.
Yeah, because that has a great history in wrestling.
I was like, he about to propose, and he did, and I was like,
No, I mean again, they both showed up in pink. Again, they're just like, all I need in this life is me and my girlfriend. That's Adam Cole right now. He's like I'm with my best buds, I'm with my girl, and like I'm playing video games. That's all Adam Cole wants.
He said, "Take that, Seth and Becky. Y'all ain't the only couples out here." That's what he said.
But no, I mean, yeah, Britt Baker. It's boring. Just
next.
Yeah.
Match. Next on the card. Oh, shit.
Okay. This now. All right.
Oh shit.
You said it's the fun side. This wasn't fun at all. I think we need to speak.
I was rooting for Scorpio though. Go Scorpio Sky. That belt clean. First of all, man, that belt clean. He got that much belt clean now.
Nah, it's Lakers colors. Fuck that. Nah.
Do I need to get a new work husband?
Hey, I'm just saying.
You ain't going nowhere. But that belt is nice. Shout out to the Lakers. We gonna get it together. King James.
You just like rooting for things that are gonna get it together. The Cowboys, the Lakers. Who else?
Drip. I'm with my designer, y'all. Y'all see my designer cup? Louis Vuitton. Y'all see it? Gucci. No, look at the Gucci.
I had said this recently with Cal, but this feud is kind of what's killing the TNT title because it's kind of been the longest program with the title in the title's history. Like Scorpio Sky and Sammy Guevara trading the title back and forth. Then Kazarian gets involved, and then we all knew Pigeon Sant and Ty Conti were going to score off at some point. But for them to do like again at the last minute, it's a 6-person tag. When you really should have just done maybe Ty Conti and Sammy versus Scorpio and Page, that would have been a little bit better. No offense to Ethan Page and Kazarian, I loved Kazarian since TNA, but right. I don't think we needed the extra bullshit going on with them. And this match was just like a slapstick show. Like he kicks her, she falls on his nuts. So it's like, and then Frankie Kazarian punches Sammy, and it's like ping pow. It was just like Looney Tunes. It's.
I'm just kind of glad this is the last little rival for them. So now Scorpio can probably make this TNT title back serious because
he's a guy that can have bangers every week. Realistically,
because Scorpio can go in the ring. I enjoy watching.
He always could, yeah.
He never really was a promo guy, but as far as like in ring wise, yes,
well, I can watch him all day. And
so whoever about to be next up, I didn't see the rankings yet, but whoever next up, just
Yeah, we already talked about it, Eve. But what did you think of Paige Van Sant?
Who is that? We talked about my boys versus the Hardys. You should have came your ass on time, but because you didn't, you missed it.
Fair enough. But what did you think of Paige Van Sant in her in the brief glimpses that we saw her wrestle?
Who? She did pretty good.
You said
she did. It's not in the mud, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's not call it too early. Let's not.
No, I'm saying I think it's a good start.
It's a good start.
I think we all kind of hyped up Ronda Rousey because she did look good in that first match, and then
exactly. And I feel
4 months later,
the way that she wrestles, she's going to be so much better than Ronda once she starts like putting like the work in and stuff like that. Because I could tell that she's dedicated and she actually loves the business instead of just collecting the check like some people.
I think everyone who gets in says they love the business just to get the check. Let's cool it on that. I mean,
Drip, she just had one match. You don't know if she's one of them.
I think
Give
the
her a
quote
chance.
said that she was born to wrestle. I'm like, but you were in the UFC, then you tried boxing, then you tried bare knuckle fighting. So it seems like you're born to do a lot of things. So I think she goes where the money resides, if I'm not being mistaken. That's all I'll
If
say.
you're new to this live, we don't have any Jeffrey slander. If you're here to slander Jeffrey Hardy, then get your ass up out of here because this is not for you.
But they did tease Dante Martin, Scorpio Sky, which should be relatively soon. That will be again Scorpio Sky being champ. I mean, I hope he can kind of get somewhat of a real title reign after the back and forth with Sammy. But
they building Dante Martin up. They've been building him up for a while, so I really feel like he's going to be one of the ones that they're going to put on ROH to be the guy. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that.
Yeah, I look forward to that. He's one of my favorite stars in the company, really. I mean, him and Hangman Page had a good match. I mean, every match he's had on TV has been great. Him and Phoenix in the Owen Hart first round, yeah. But Scorpio Sky, get away from this feud as far as possible. Sammy and Ty, I think what's next for them will be interesting.
Right. Or just stay off air for a minute.
I feel like CM Punk Sammy's next up for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel that.
Well,
we'll get to that.
We'll get into it when we get there. We'll get to it there. Next, not too much.
Now this was the right. Oh shit! This was it. This is it. This is what White Boy Warfare.
People that want to know why Darby was added to the card, Warner Media invested in the 4 pillars: Jade, Britt Baker. And of course, Chris Jericho, all the names that the homegrown names.
Moxley, Danielson.
Yes. But if they're not a homegrown name, the ones that they are invested in, and Red Velvet because they had her on the screen. So Red Velvet, Jade Cargill, 4 pillars, Britt Baker, and Chris Statlander too.
Yeah.
So they added Darby to the card because Darby is a draw. Whether
I think he's wrestled on every show they've had from Double or Nothing
Darby
to
is
Fighter
a draw,
Fest.
and he's supposed to have his own show too, supposedly.
Oh yeah, right, like some Jackass type show.
Yeah.
But also as soon as this was announced, I'm like, oh, they're just gonna have the match of the night to me, and they did, and it was again a short match that delivered. They had technical wrestling, they had his crazy dives. Kyle O'Reilly kneed him in the face and fucking busted his lip. It was just what it was.
Men. Oh, right to the face.
But no, it was pretty simple. I mean, and again, this is what we talked about earlier in the show, like matches, just put on matches. These are 2 guys that can work, and they've worked with a bunch of people since they've been in the company. And this is the strength of AEW, just no build, just put 2 guys in, 2 women in, and let them wrestle, and they can deliver. And that's what this did.
And it's also a good look for Kyle too.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't think they were going to do it. But when it was him and Adam Cole on either side of the bracket, I'm like, oh, they're probably going to do Samoa Joe because they don't want to do Kyle and Adam because why would they face each other when they're in the Undisputed Elite? But I'm like, they'd have a fucking amazing match if that was like the case. But you would try to say a few weeks ago, you tried to piss me off with saying that Phoenix would carry Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly carries everyone. Don't you do that? Except in that case, it was 50-50. It was meeting in the middle. But Kyle O'Reilly carries everyone.
I just had to, but it was 50-50.
It was.
They both delivered. I want to see Kyle in Mexico too. I would love to see him in Mexico at a AAA match.
Him and Bandito. Him and Andrade is really the match that him and Andrade happened because they were both heels in NXT, and then Kyle never went to the main roster. So yeah, that's a match. Yeah, Darby Allin with that, like they said, like his foot might have like hit the rope before that first dive, and he just went like right on. It was just like eesh. But
yes, yeah. They haven't officially announced it, you guys, but they did say that it's a possibility that Darby's going to get his own show. Because, Darby don't want to wrestle forever. Darby's passion, he's spoken about it.
He sees Jeff Hardy. He sees Jeff Hardy. He doesn't want to look like that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to wrestle forever. Darby is actually into the whole movie scene. He wants to be a director. You know, that's his major. So he said that plenty of times. He was like, I don't want to wrestle forever. I want to be in film. So, you know, we just got to enjoy Darby until he'd be like, all right, I'm done with this shit.
I would say that is probably one of the reasons why he is my favorite of the AEW originals. Alongside Orange Cassidy is the extra elements that aren't wrestling related. That it is
Right.
you know, like inspired by cinema and all that. You care about the character work and vignettes. But let's talk about the match that you've been excited to talk about. I think since the backlash about what Becky Lynch had said, I think at the start of the month, something that people have talked about. What is the biggest weakness in AEW, which is the women's division. But I'm gonna let you have your shine right here and talk about Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb.
Y'all, okay. This is Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb was probably one of the best American women's technical match I have seen this year so far. In-ring storytelling, and you know they have history when they was NWA together. So I knew they was going to deliver, but it gave me Rey Mysterio, Dean Malenko vibes. And Cruiserweight, WCW Cruiserweight. Y'all know I am a WCW Cruiserweight stan. That's why I loved wrestling, because of the WCW Cruiserweight division. That's the vibe that I got from both of them. It was, if y'all have a chance, if you care about women's wrestling, watch that match one more time. That is the best women's match I have seen this year. I'm a sucker for technical wrestling, not entertainment. Technical. I love technical wrestling. It was beautiful. No botches, no nothing. Like, they both delivered. Serena Deeb, please put some respect on her. Put some respect on her name. Put some respect on Thunder Rosa's name. They gave a hell of a match. Save the audience too, because I know everybody was getting sleepy. That match was, oh my God. If you ain't seen it, run it back, Turbo.
I kind of really need to. But no, I think they saved it. And
yes. Who said that? Put that comment back up there. There you go. There you go. Except Serena Deeb wrestled kind of like Dean Malenko a little bit. So
yeah, she did. Well, and she did like the Texas Cloverleaf. And,
yes, that's why I said Malenko versus Rey Mysterio.
And they had a number of matches. Yeah.
Me personally, it was match of the night for me. Me personally.
No, I can see why. I mean, like, I think everyone has seen Serena Deeb and what she's been doing, like the Serena Deeb challenge and all that, and how the feud her and Shida had, which is again a feud that didn't revolve around the title in AEW, and how it started out as like wrestling, and then they got weapons involved and told a story that way. I think you, Cal, some others have sung the praises of Serena Deeb and like she needs to be in the title picture. And this was finally her chance. Thunder Rosa basically made Britt Baker. She gave Jade Cargill her best match in the semifinals of the TBS title tournament. That's the best Jade Cargill's ever looked, and it was twofold. Like, Thunder Rosa worked well with Jade's style, so you knew these two were going to have a match with, again, Thunder Rosa style and Serena Deeb style. It was going to deliver, and yeah, I just need to run it back again. But the next match will be the entertainment match. You said you don't like entertainment wrestling, but I think you love this, right?
Yes. Run it, Graham.
Uh-oh.
What he run? Wrong match, Graham.
My bad, y'all.
He's on the Fritz. Now we have the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yes. Listen, okay, if you're an AEW stan, which one was better? Stadium Stampede 2 or this one? Because I love Stadium Stampede 2. That's still my favorite.
I'm sorry, I'm probably the minority. I like Stadium Stampede 1. I thought that was better.
I do too, but I like the second one. It was just something about the second one.
The second one I thought was very poor compared to the first. Yeah.
I like the second one.
But this, I thought, when they played Wild Thing for like the first 9 minutes, I was kind of getting like, all right, maybe we could chill out on this. It was cool, but then it kept going. And I was like, yeah, this isn't Major League. We don't need to
But
keep
you
hearing
saw
this
what
song.
they was doing. Listen,
Yeah, I know.
Shout out to this. For those that don't know why this match was on this part of the card, the veterans like Daniel Bryanson and them, they knew, they wanted y'all to be awake for that tag match that was next. So they did their job. So Wild Thing had to play. And it was like a bar fight anyway. So
yeah. No, again, like Daniel Garcia he did the pile driver to the outside on the steps. Eddie Kingston was just him and the guy who's like, hey, was like they were all covered in blood.
Listen, he was the MVP of that match. I don't care what nobody say.
I always forget which one's his name.
Cal called him Roundhead.
Yeah. I think Matt Maynard, yeah, he was the one just like bleeding insanely. I was like, you gotta get this guy to the hospital. But I mean, Bryan Danielson at the end being like, I'm gonna kick his fucking head in, and I was just like, do it. I mean, the finale, they had built it up well where like he had Jericho ready to tap, and then Eddie Kingston comes out with a gas can and then like pours it on him, and Danielson's like, the fuck you doing? Like, this is too far. And then they're beating each other with like, they take the ring rope off. It was violence. It was chaos. It was everything that like entertainment wrestling is supposed to be.
And for those that's like, why didn't Daniel Bryan then win? It's to prove a point. Because Jericho knows, even though people are a friend of just pro wrestling, hardcore wrestling, 20 years of entertainment is still going to outweigh strictly pro wrestling. Like, people still going to ride with Vince McMahon till the wheels fall off. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, we know entertainment gonna win because y'all dumb, and that's what y'all rely on because that was y'all childhood. That was my childhood too.
Oh, you're saying in like a meta context? Like,
yeah, that's why they won. Like, entertainment is still gonna win. Like, we get it. You know what I'm saying? That's why AEW is AEW, and that's why Tony just only focuses on his fan base now and not trying to get, ain't no casuals no more. There's not a casual anymore. For people, what about casuals are dead. Now it's all about focusing on your fan base. That's the truth.
No, I agree. And I think, and plus you couldn't have them lose being the JAS because it would just make them, again, look like jobbers. Because, I mean, Daniel Garcia is the only one out of this group that really has potential. Jake Hager's been done, and these two guys are basically glorified jobbers, being 2.0. So they had to win. Otherwise, it just made like you created this faction just for them to get beat by the guys who are obviously like the better wrestlers. Like, no, you got to, again, it was an Anarchy in the Arena match, a gimmick match. You can get away with beating these guys because everything was allowed. It doesn't really hurt Blackpool Combat Club because they're all about wrestling, kicking the shit out of you and within
y'all
the
see my
ring.
mama? Y'all say hey to my
mama? But no, I mean, it was what it was, and I enjoyed it. Like I said, I think it just probably went a little bit too long because given the match we had next was the triple threat match, the three-way tag match, which again was also a match of the night contender, with Ricky Starks, Jungle Boy, Swerve, Keith Lee, Luchasaurus, Will Hobbs. They all delivered. Each the guy had a chance to shine within this match.
Notice, y'all, I know because I didn't. This is the one thing on the besides the main event. This was one of the ones I did not expect that ending to happen. But I also paid also paid attention that Ricky and Hobbs didn't take that pin. So I paid attention to that as well. So then that's a good thing. And I'm like, okay, if Ricky and Hobbs didn't take the pin, that means they're probably still going to end up getting the tag titles, just probably not right now.
Well, they could do the thing where it was originally supposed to be us and these two guys added themselves. And then the one thing that you've been talking about for weeks on Twitter as well is Christian Cage doing the whole, I knew it was you, Jungle Boy, giving him the kiss of death.
I wanted to turn so bad. I was so upset. I was like,
You
Shout
could
out
tell
to the
when he.
peepers. Shout out to the peepers. If you a peeper, shout out. Shout out to the Christian stands. We in here. Shout out to the peepers. We don't care about that old man over there and that other.
But you could tell when like Christian got pushed and Jungle Boy came to look at him. He's like, "Get your ass back in the ring." It's still like Jungle Boy's never focused. He's too emotional, and Christian's probably gonna have to like beat that out of him when they have their feud of the mentor versus the teacher. I mean, versus the student. But no, I mean, Swerve Scott doing the moonsault off Keith Lee to the outside. Ricky Starks doing his thing. Again, just like Hobbs and Keith Lee, just two men slapping meat, as Biggie would say.
Yes, it was. Shout out to Luchasaurus. The Luchasaurus put out some bangers yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but Sunday. Like all three of the big men did. Like Hobbs, Keith Lee, Luchasaurus, when they all three had that engagement. That was some good big man shit. I loved it.
Maybe it's a thing too where like, I was just Ken Lewis just as I was about to bring it up, like and to think like the last review, they had another 3-way tag match. Maybe it's like they're too relying on it. Not that Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus can't hang by themselves, but hopefully, I mean, they probably will be dropping the titles next, but it'll be interesting to see how the tag division looks after that, especially if it's Hobbs and Starks that are the tag champions going forward.
Because Jungle Boy about to be next up, so because of course he's one of the original 4 pillars, so he's probably the only one on the card that hasn't had like something like. Of course, he went against the main title before and things like that. That's because Luchasaurus was injured. But as far as just breaking off of the tag division and trying to gain like a solo type, belt, of course MJF too. Jungle Boy is one of the baby faces that is invested in, so they're gonna eventually break up. Well, not break up, but they're gonna lose the tag titles. His first test is gonna be Christian. That's gonna be a whole rival because that's Christian's baby. So Christian's building him up to be a star. Because Jungle Boy is an investment, whether you like it or not. Jungle Boy is good.
He's good.
He's good.
He is good. But like in terms of like I think I would swap Dante Martin with him in terms of the pillars if I kind of had my choosing. Yeah, I find Dante Martin big in like.
Dante Martin's like the next pillar.
He's the honorable mention of the pillars. But it's Jungle Boy is a good wrestler, but the gimmick and again like kind of overall, and again he's a terrible talker, but
yeah, we'll
have plenty of time to talk about that in the future. Better. But do you want to talk about the main event and how the IWC killed baby faces? Was this the day that the baby face champ died?
Put the picture on Graham. Hell no! Look at this.
Okay. As a CM Punk fan, I have said probably for about 4 months now that CM Punk in AEW is not it. He is washed. He'll have flashes, but overall, he's not the same guy he was. And for him to come back and think he is, I think is maybe a testament to his attitude about believing in himself. And to want to be champion so he can, quote unquote, make these guys. I think he was making guys by beating them. I mean, him and Lee Moriarty had a good match. Him and Hobbs had a good match. I think he could have kept beating guys or putting guys over, which, I mean, he only put MJF over so far in the feud that then set up the dog collar match. But I think he needed a title match. I don't think he needed to win it. And unfortunately, he won it. At Hangman Page's expense.
I understand. All right, y'all. If you a Hangman Page stan like me, all right. I'm about to get into it right now. I get it. Why they did it. I understand it because we want the alternative to succeed so we don't have to deal with the monopoly for another 20 years. They capitalizing on this Warner Media deal. We may possibly have an HBO deal, so where we can probably start seeing pay-per-views on HBO, which will be dope.
Yeah.
CM Punk is a household name. So I understand why the decision was made. Summer Punk. Fans wanted it. Hangman, at Hangman's expense, I didn't personally like it. But I also saw how fans were calling him boring, all types of bullshit. And it's not their fault. IWC, and it's not mostly IWC's fault. I put the blame on WWE because how they've always booked baby faces for the last 20 years. That tends to play a major effect on how baby faces are viewed. And I'm going to put an example out there. And I'm not going to say that Hangman and Big E reign was the same because it was not. Hangman probably had the best babyface reign in a long time. He was booked correctly. He was booked strong, and he was still allowed to be a babyface because everybody knows Hangman Page is a ultimate good person. You see, that nigga was reading books to kids.
They had George Bush reading books to kids. Come on. That's a cheat code for he's a good person. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying.
He was know what you I caught it, girl. Stop. Why you? I don't know why you said that because I use that meme all the time.
I know that's why I said it because you'd be like, look at him read. You'd be like,
but
okay.
I want to say this because every babyface, I've seen the criticism that they need to have a spark, and a spark is always some type of heel antics to where they can be good champions. And I don't blame him, but that's his personality. Stone Cold Steve Austin. They expect Stone Cold Steve Austin out of every single babyface. And that's not fair because everybody is not Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Hangman Page is a person that stood up for Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, women rights. You saw he went viral for what he mentioned Kane for that bullshit that he said on Twitter. Like, he's an ultimate good person. So you want spark. And he showed spark. He told CM Punk about himself. He said, you're going to get this belt and you're going to become everything that you claim that you're not.
And that was the same thing that created the CM Punk, Samoa Punk in 2011 when John Cena was
exactly.
like, "You're the biggest hypocrite of them all." And what's the irony? What's the irony is that John Cena was the babyface champ that was unstoppable, unbeatable. People thought he was boring because he would drink his milk and sell, orange, purple, green colored shirts.
And I don't even want to say Wilkins is right because I hate telling him when he's right. But Wilkins is kind of right to a certain extent when he said that people are really miserable for how they do baby faces. Because y'all are. Because Big E got the same slander, and he was only champion for a good month before people start calling him boring. Bianca was getting called boring.
But it's also of how they're booked. And Hangman Page.
Too. Bianca was called boring. Drew McIntyre was called boring. And Drew McIntyre carried the entire pandemic.
I was about to say, John Moxley and Drew McIntyre are side by side. They had to do championship reigns as faces during the pandemic. I think John Moxley's was somewhat better because he had better competition to work with.
Yeah, and then Moxley is not really a heel, not really a baby face. It's just Moxley.
Well, he's closer to that Stone Cold mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they want that out of everybody, and that's not fair. And I feel like Hangman was the one that was actually booked correctly. And that was the one that was bringing balance because every champion that's a heel does not make it a great champion. Every champion that has like a Stone Cold type personality doesn't make them a great champion. Hangman was still a great babyface champion. It's just unfortunately his title reign had to end because Tony listens to the fans. The fans want to see CM Punk to be champion. That's just what that is. Like,
the fans, the network.
It was a few of us that wanted him to retain, and it was a lot that wanted CM Punk to be champion because they felt like Hangman was boring, and he wasn't. Hangman is just a good guy. And if you press his buttons, yes, he could turn up, but he's still a good guy. Put the
Yeah,
picture
he
up,
sunned
Graham.
Adam Cole. Remember, he was like, "Look at me when I'm talking to you, boy."
Put
Like
the picture. That right there, when he was about to hit him with the belt and he hesitated, he's a good guy.
don't forget this man put barbed wire on Adam Cole and then
who is Tristan? Tristan, no, nobody should have to turn heel. Nobody. That's the whole point that I'm.
CM Punk will be the heel going forward.
That's my whole point. Nobody should not have to turn heel in order for them to be a good champion. And it be coming from people that I have seen on their content creation, on their podcast, defend Big E to the death. Big E don't have to do this and this and this and this. But you want Hangman Page to do the same thing. Y'all are hypocrites and y'all are fickle. I'm going to just put it right there. Y'all are some hypocrites and y'all are fickle. You can't be saying, I want Hangman to do this and this and this. And then when somebody say the same thing about Big E, then Big E don't have to do this, blah, 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 blah. Y'all don't know. Y'all just talking at your ass at this point, and y'all killed baby faces, bro. A lot of y'all have killed baby faces. Y'all don't give baby faces the chance anymore. Nobody don't even want to be a baby face no more because they know if they're a baby face, they're not gonna have a good, legitimate reign, and the fans are gonna turn on them. See what I'm saying?
But also,
Hangman's a good person.
But it's down to the booking too. Like they booked Big E poorly, and then after Bryan Danielson, he had the Adam Cole feud, which is a better story feud than Bryan Danielson was. Danielson was, I'm gonna show you what it's like to be like someone like you shouldn't be champion because I'm better than you in the ring. Adam Cole and Adam Page had a real story of like, I was the guy when I left, and now you've become a guy. Now I'm back, and I'm gonna prove I've always been the guy, and you're always here. And then what do they do after that? They put him in a random mini feud with Lance Archer. Okay. And then they had him and Dante Martin had a good match on TV. And then it was like treading water while the Adam Cole thing might have still been going on.
Mm-hmm.
And the common criticism of Thunder Rosa as of late was look at her booking. Again, Tony Khan hasn't booked her well as champion. She's not a bad champion. Just he doesn't know what to do with the babyface champions after a certain point, I think. That's why Moxley held on to it so long during the pandemic, because it was just like, well, we can just have him beat people up and no one will get tired of it. And it's because he's beating up bad guys too. But
Graham, can you put my boo 257 comment up?
Hangman Page, I think he just kind of got fucked over in a way by being perceived as boring when he not really was. I mean,
yes, it is. Put it up. Leave it up, Graham. Leave it up. It did.
No, it did. Yeah, of course it did, because everyone was a bad guy. Yeah,
death. I love him to death. Attitude Era did kill the baby faces. John Cena babyface reign, it wasn't his fault. But John Cena was a pure babyface. Mm-hmm. But the booking wasn't his fault. It wasn't. Hangman.
No, it was about revenue.
Tony Khan is about revenue. He's in a trance. It's just like, we want to have babyface, but I can't have him that long because the fans are going to grow up. If Hangman would have won last night, he would have got the Cody treatment.
Cody Rhodes brought the Cody treatment on himself. Let's not do that.
No, but it's true. Like we saw the match. We saw the reaction. It was the crowd divided, yes, but it was more so people love CM Punk. Even when CM Punk fucked up the buckshots twice, he still got love. That ain't my champion.
So that's where that's where being a hypocrite comes from, because if you're going to be the company that's all about wrestling, you have this guy he's past his prime. You can't be, we are the wrestling company, and then have CM Punk
put Grish comment back up here
and be like Jordan on the Wizards. That's why I'm
Grish. Ain't nobody blame the talent. I said I love Stone Cold to death, but how he was booked killed babyface. So don't do that. You get cussed out in this show. All right.
No, I like that match exposed how bad CM Punk is now and how good Hangman is. That's what that match did. And over the course of the match, you're like, they're gonna make the wrong choice because the guy who's the better wrestler is not gonna walk out as champion. Like I said, he messed up the buckshot twice. He was just slow, and it's like you can tell he's just trying to set up the next spot during a lot of the match. And Hangman Page is like, I can do this, and that. And that's I just feel bad for Hangman Page at the end. Again, I'm not hateful towards CM Punk because I see that Tony Khan sees something because the TV partner sees something in it. The revenue sees something, like it's a money decision. And it's a nostalgia play, and I think he's playing it up for that as well. Of like, look, I made the guy who shit on WWE my champion, and now I can be one of the 3 people that's held an ROH World Title, WWE title, fucking AEW title. He can be in a select group of people that have done something like that. But at the end of the day, it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen going forward with both. I don't know if this continues. I mean,
look at that shit. Look at this. He's a liar.
Well, I mean, that's always been I respect that the man is vocal and all that because he says what he believes, and I believe it. Yeah, like I don't believe he says it just to say it, but them with their Sons of Hitman shirt, I'm like, if this is a real faction going forward, just like put me to bed, legit go to sleep, because FTR and their style of wrestling is just no.
Hey, Drew, don't do that. Don't do that about FTR. It's no FTR slander here either.
I watched that match with them and the Briscoes that you saw.
I was there.
I know. In the first 15 minutes, I was like, and then the final 10 minutes, it picked up.
I was there.
Oh my goddamn what? But I mean, we have a new AEW champ, and that's the show. I mean, again, what did you think of it as a match? Was it disappointing to you, or like?
Pride for Adam Page is back.
That's what I mean. It was just like
Adam Page. Listen, you might think the man is boring, but that man can wrestle his ass off. That man carried that match.
Yes.
You saw CM Punk fuck up twice on a simple move.
It's not simple. I think it's just. I don't think.
I just want to say that.
No, I want to see you try a punk shot lariat next time.
I ain't doing this shit.
The nigga swung his body to the side.
But
I can't.
I think we should. I mean, that's our Double or Nothing recap. Would you say this is a top 3 pay-per-view they've ever put on?
Not the top 3, but probably top 10. It was it was fun. It was I would say Double or Nothing's main event last year was better than Double or Nothing main event.
Of course you would say that. That's because the greatest wrestler of all time, Orange Cassidy, was in it.
No.
Yeah.
Kenneth.
I can't wait till Orange Cassidy starts wrestling again. Kenny Omega, fuck out of here. Orange Cassidy, we need him back in the ring ASAP.
I think his shoulder is still injured or something.
Yeah. But, no, I would agree. The match with Pac, Orange Cassidy, and Kenny was definitely a better main event than
y'all, when the 1, 2, 3 happened in the main event, I damn near started crying. I was like, no. And I blamed the fans. Y'all saw who I blamed. I was like, did he listen to the wrong side of the fans? But at the same time, I don't want Adam Page to get booed on a Wednesday because he wanted to. So the thing about
teach your man how to squabble. Get that trigger next time, nigga.
Listen. CM Punk, if you're gonna be following twice on a fucking buckshot, you can't be my champion, bro. You're not my champion right now, because he fell twice. Yeah, the crowd did boo him a little bit for that, but for some reason they started cheering him again. That's why I'm just like, bro,
because it's. Why do I love seeing it's like anytime the Undertaker came out, they're like, yeah, it's the Undertaker. Then like he fucks up, they're like, ooh. But then when he hits the choke slam, it's like, all right, he's back to the guy he was before.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, because
but let's not forget how like the Undertaker was like,
just like
poor Roman Reigns was trying his hardest with the Undertaker, and people were like, oh, see, Roman Reigns is that. It's like he's doing the best he can, like. But no, I mean, we'll be able to talk about it.
JR said.
I mean, if CM Punk is, I'm going to be nice to JR. I'm just saying, you know what? He has not been.
JR said he's going to try it again.
Yeah. I think Excalibur's probably thinking the same thing when Jim tries to say something.
Tony Khan, just make Excalibur your main commentator now.
He is. He
No,
basically
JR is
is
still
until
the main. No, JR
I'm
is still
saying
the head.
yeah, I'm saying, but like, but JR is like, God damn it, you ain't firing me. Like, and Tony Schiavone is just like, yep, I'm here, fans. Like,
Yeah, they just trying to be nice at this point. But so, TK, make Excalibur your main commentator, man. Just give it to him.
So you say it's top 10, not top 3. I would definitely say it's not top 3.
Drip, because you're so
I definitely
unfair.
I definitely thought Revolution was better than this.
Let me see.
Because Adam Cole, Hangman Page was great. Young Bucks,
Yes.
Red Dragon, Lucha, Jungle Express is great.
I like fun, so it was
Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho had a good match. That was a good opener. Even the match when Sting jumped to the fucking outside 2 weeks before he turned 62.
You know what? You okay. Matches wise, yes. But Double or Nothing was very fun. I like
you'll say fun to be like, it wasn't great, but I enjoyed it. Like
shit, it was better than WrestleMania, and I was there.
All right, they're really gonna shut us down now. Who was your wrestler of the night, Keeks?
Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa. First of all, she had the tribute to Evaldi. Y'all know I'm a Texas girl. That's 6 hours from me. That meant a lot. Rest in power to the victims, and also keep the families in y'all prayers, y'all. It's been a war zone out here in Texas. You have shout out to listen, if you from Texas in this chat, make sure y'all vote in November. We get them out of here. We gotta get him out of here. It's time for him to go. Trying to wheel his ass up out of here. That was very powerful. And I also want to say this. Y'all might not like Chris Jericho, but that man is almost 52 years old, and he was active that entire match. The man was active. So
it was like a cheat code match too. Let's not I'm saying that him at Revolution with Eddie Kingston, he showed he still had it. I'm saying with this,
and I also want to say that this whole Jazz faction is another way of building Daniel Garcia up. It's the same way that he did with MJF. It's the same way he did for Sammy Guevara.
Look how that worked out with MJF wanting to leave because
that was he probably like I didn't know he was a Cody boy. That's probably what he was like. But it's the same way of building young stars up. Jericho, you may not like him, but he's doing his job as a vet. Just like Christian is doing his job as a vet with Jungle Boy. Shout out to the peepers. We in this thing.
My wrestler of the night.
Who the real one was of the tag division, but that's another one.
Oh, we all know that.
Night of her husband.
Oh, Kyle O'Reilly, of course. I mean, if we had to do wrestler of the week, him and Samoa Joe on Wednesday, him and Darby Allin on Sunday. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly, all he does is deliver. I mean, that's the thing about the show too. We'll be on Tuesdays, so we'll be able to recap Dynamite. We'll be able to recap Rampage and a pay-per-view that's on that Sunday. I mean, and a lot of times people will do double duty at least, occasionally on Rampage and Dynamite. But Kyle O'Reilly, again, the true star of the Undisputed Elite. And Darby Allin, again, just great chemistry with that.
Graham, put the Vaughn comment up when he said Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho. Because ain't nobody said nothing about that. Yeah. Where you get that from? Kurt Angle's, he said as of right now. He ain't say nothing about ever. He was saying just as of right now. That's all right. I'm gonna do a show on Chris Jericho. If y'all don't, okay, I'm gonna tell the story, y'all, since I'm right here. If y'all don't know the story about why I'm a Chris Jericho stan, I'm about to story time. Let me put my cap down, my droplets. Hold on, let me take a drink for this. Hold on. Shout out to the Cowboys. I'm going to the Cowboys versus Tom Brady game.
Oh, Tom Brady just playing by himself?
Okay, y'all. I've been a Chris Jericho fan ever since WCW. My love for wrestling is because of WCW, the cruiserweight division. I've never seen nothing like it. Still to this day, they still the best thing I've ever seen. Chris Jericho was one of my. When he went on to join WWE, I was there too. I was 7 or 8, one of the two. They had a meet and greet in Dallas. You know, I've seen wrestlers during their prime, The Rock, Stone Cold, all of that, during their prime when I was a kid. I didn't want to see them. I had to see Chris Jericho. So my mom did what she had to do for me to see Chris Jericho. Mind you, I'm around 7 or 8. I meet Chris Jericho 7 or 8 years old. And you know me, I had my Minnie Mouse gold earrings on. I had the Jerichoholic shirt, overalls. I had my J's on. I was excited because I'm about to see my favorite wrestler. And this is before he became undisputed champion too. I see him, and you know what he told me? He said, keep your confidence and keep doing what you're doing because you're going to be something. It's stuff like that you've been told by your favorite wrestler when you're a kid that sticks with you for a long time. Do I know that man was probably at the Capitol? Of course.
As I said, he's like, and you know what? In 20
And he ain't alone. There was a lot of them that was at the Capitol. Hell, y'all still look at WWE and y'all know Linda McMahon used that money for the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of them niggas that was at the Capitol.
Don't forget Tucon's father.
They did not want to raise them taxes. That's why they was at the Capitol. They didn't want to raise them taxes. They didn't want to pay that. They didn't want to pay that. It took me a while to unfollow him because of that, because that hurted me. But I have accepted, yes, my fave is problematic. But
we all have problematic faves.
Yes, we all do. We like Stone Cold. We know what the allegations.
No, I'm saying everyone's always a hypocrite to be like, oh, you like
niggas, y'all like Triple H. Y'all know what he did.
Don't get me. We'll be here 8 hours. No, we ain't doing that.
Right.
But that's.
But what I want to say is, it's stuff like that. You know, it goes with you wherever you go. That's why I always try to find that picture, because if I ever was to be near him again, I'd be like, do you remember me? He probably do, because I was alive. And you know, I took a picture. I had my hand on my hip. I was on I took a picture. I was so excited because that was my favorite wrestler.
We gotta make this happen.
It's still my favorite wrestler.
We gotta somehow make this possible.
But I want to say a lot to say this. You don't have to like not Triple H shit. That damn comment.
Well, you don't have to like.
You don't have to like Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is one of the most versatile veterans there is. That man he can make the goofiest gimmicks a draw. The nigga made the list a draw, and that was the most goofiest shit he's ever been in. But he made it work. Jericho is one of the ones that know how to make shit work. This shit he doing right now with Jazz is corny, but he's making it work. And it's probably one of the best ones. I like this more than the Inner Circle.
Okay, you know.
I do. He knows how to make it work. So at some point, one of these days, I'm going to do a show on Chris Jericho, because not a lot of people do it. But I'm going to do one because the man does deserve his flowers. He knows how to make gimmicks work. And that's one of the ones probably one of the last ones that knows how to do that. Not a lot of people can do that. It's hard. You have different wrestlers say that is hard what Jericho can do. Like, I don't know, like they will turn down certain characters or certain gimmicks because they don't know how to do it. But Jericho knows how to do it. He knows how to find a way. Problematic. What? Hold on. Who put no?
We ain't going that way.
Nikita heard my. That's y'all. See, that's y'all. That's what y'all get. It is. Thank you, Ken. It is better than Inner Circle. It's better than Inner Circle. You have, I mean, no disrespect to Santana, and you know, I like them as a tag division. But Jazz stands out because they have different people, different characters, entertaining, quote unquote. They're entertaining. I like that. I can deal with Goofy at a certain point. Jericho Goofy, I can handle because that's my fave. And I'm going to be biased about it because it's Jericho. Jericho, if you're listening to the show, you know you're my birthday twin. Scorpios forever. We got to stick together. Shout out to the November 9th. He my birthday twin, too. It makes it that. And he know that.
Again, that's your favorite.
Who is that? Antonia. Who? Jazz is not that. Who is that on your profile pic? Oh, never mind. I thought it was Becky. I feel say if you're a Becky Lynch fan, don't say nothing about nothing.
What are the TFW awards?
All right, y'all. Let's get ready for the Fuck What Awards. This awards is for special people that have posted something in the IWC that it needs to be acknowledged for. Graham, run the first one. I'm going to read it out. Run the first one. The IWC better be outraged, just as outraged at Tony Khan as they are with WWE and their handling of Sasha and Naomi. Informant number 1 was talking about MJF situation. That does not correlate to what Sasha and Naomi was going for. Sasha and Naomi was speaking up for the tag division and the women's division. It has nothing to do with money. MJF has a lot to do with money. Next, Graham, put out the second one. Proper bland as fuck. They call Will Hobbs too boring to get a push and Jay Lethal. But what about Adam Page? And stuff like this is the reason why Tony Khan had to end Adam Page's range because of comments like that. Y'all saw that? Put it back up, Graham. Let them see it one more time. Let's see the bullshit one more time. That was bullshit.
Again, Hangman Page wasn't bored when he was drinking beers and riding horses, and now he's boring because all that shit was dope when he was doing that.
Run the next one, Graham. Climb their way to the top. Uninteresting run as champion. Got washed by a bigger wrestler. Absolutely tough. That is some bullshit because, like I said earlier, Adam Page had a great run. Adam Page had faced Daniel Bryanson, Adam Cole, Lance Archer, Dante Martin, Takashita. I'm missing somebody. CM Punk now.
Oh no, it was the 2 matches.
Kenny Omega. He's had great people to run against. It does not equate to Big E because they had Big E in tag matches as a champion. No.
Don't forget, he lost to Seth Rollins and he lost to Kevin Owens and then he lost to Bobby Lashley. That's the thing. They were booked.
Exactly.
He was booked the opposite of Hangman Page, but in terms of like Big E was constantly taking L's as a champion, whereas Hangman Page was winning, but people weren't liking how he was winning. It wasn't entertaining with like.
Michael Jefferson, going on with that. We don't do horrible takes. You gonna be on my next.
I like Will Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs is good, but we
don't say dumb shit in here. Okay, next, Graham. Half of the people who have won your world title have been ex-WWE guys. All right, for the informant number 3, yes, Jericho was to put the name out there. Moxley was to solidify the name out there. And now CM Punk is because fucking fans.
I think it's all through for the same reasons. I think Jericho was to establish the title as someone that had credentials, a legacy. Moxley was the first big signing, and they were going to kind of build the first year of the company around him to begin with, based off how he showed up at the first Double or Nothing, which I ordered on pay-per-view, and I was like, wow, they're going to do this. Like, he's going to be the guy there, like how he was never going to be the guy at WWE. And then CM Punk now, I think it's a mixture of the two where he's the guy with the credentials, and he's kind of the anti-WWE guy who never got his fair shake in his mind in terms of being at the top of the company after having a few chances, just like Moxley had a few chances at the top. But it's all for a purpose. I mean, again, Cody never made himself champ. The Young Bucks didn't make themselves tag champs for a while. Kenny Omega didn't hold the world title until the second year of the company. So they book the world title very carefully, and that's why I'm saying like who beats CM Punk will be very interesting. And I really don't know who could be at this point. Adam
Forbidden
Cole.
Door, CM Punk versus Okada.
Yeah, because Okada's dropping that belt to Jay White in 13, 14 days now. Yeah.
Yep.
And then going on leave. We just had a baby, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Okada losing to CM Punk doesn't hurt Okada because he won't be IWGP champ, and he'll be going away. But yeah,
because Daniel Bryan really wants Zack Sabre Jr., and I'm glad he said that shit. Oh, I can't wait.
And see, he's someone who like realistically should be AEW champ and hasn't, and I don't know if he wants to, given
I don't think he does.
Given the toll it takes.
I don't think he does.
He just wants to wrestle and teach.
Yes. He said that. He said that before because if I'm not mistaken, the deal was, if you want to come, we can make you champion, but I don't think he wants to be champion because he always said that he doesn't like that pressure of being a face of a company. He just wants to wrestle. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we may not ever get over it. We may not see Daniel Bryan as champion.
Well, it could be a very brief run, but
it'll probably be a transitional champion.
Yeah. And it's probably a break glass in case of emergency thing, where if like someone were to get injured and like they were real desperate if they're losing the ratings or something, but it can happen. But like I said, I mean, CM Punk going forward again. I mean, Rampage.
Hell no! Who put Kenta? No.
Yes, and see, Kenta is the exact same thing as CM Punk.
Kenta's still hurt.
Well, no, Kenta wrestles like CM Punk now. Like, you're not as good as you were 10 years ago, and that's the shitty thing. Like,
no, it's gonna
all the wear and tear on your body.
Okada gonna come with that drip.
Yeah, and Okada's the guy.
He's still hurt, right? He's still injured.
I believe Kenta is still hurt.
Yeah, he's still injured.
I was like, I haven't seen him for a while, and I don't even follow Japan like that. I'm like, I haven't seen him yet. But and we'll be talking about Forbidden Door in the coming weeks. But I think that's it for this week, right? Is there anything else?
Didn't I have another the fuck what award? I didn't have another one.
We ran through all four of them, actually.
Yeah.
You said the fourth one was the third one, but that was actually the fourth one. But there's two matches for Dynamite, the Scorpio Sky and Dante Martin, and then what was that other match for Dynamite?
Daniel Garcia and John Moxley.
I'm telling you, listen, y'all. They building Daniel Garcia because he's the next set of four pillars. It's him. This is the next set of four pillars, y'all. Pay attention. Pay attention. I've been a day one since 2019. I was there through the struggle of AEW type shit. Because everything is a rotation except the CM Punk shit. Everything is a rotation. Pay attention. Daniel Garcia, Jade Cargill, Ricky Starks, Chris the Stallion. Them in the next four. Deal with it. Them the next four. If you're paying attention, Chris had to get a whole character change. Jay Cargill, that's money. Ricky Starks, money. That's why he didn't take the pin. Daniel Garcia, that's why he's under Jericho. Pay attention.
Yeah. And same thing. I think, and the person who's probably in the honorable mention with that is Wheeler Yuta.
That too.
And he'll be back after his tenure in the Best of the Super Juniors because that's wrapping up. But
Yuta's gonna be the face of ROH, y'all.
Someone said Hook. I still think Hook's probably a year away from being at that point.
Yeah, it's not Hook's time right now.
Yeah.
Yuta, if you're gonna watch ROH, Yuta is gonna be the next face of ROH. That's what they're building towards.
But we've seen Daniel Garcia and Moxley before, and that was in the stage where they were really trying to get Daniel Garcia over as a young guy, and he was just kind of getting his ass kicked by CM Punk, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, and now this is again the entertainment Daniel Garcia. Now, I mean, this man won PWG's Bola by Los Angeles tournament. He's now the PWG champion. He beat Bandito, not last month, maybe the month before, or around that. So he's obviously, again, Excalibur is the booker in PWG, so he's becoming a guy within AEW as well because of how he's on the indies.
We didn't talk about Rush.
Roosh. Yes, I guess that's how I'll end it. We'll end the show of you know a lot more about Roosh than I do.
Listen, y'all. I predicted this 2 years ago. I just didn't know. I didn't know how his because I know he had an injury with his foot and it was affection. So I didn't know that he was A-okay until I saw him there. But that's why I feel like, okay, y'all know I'm the queen of Lucha. So that's why I feel like AAA may be in the forbidden door because Psycho Clown has been mentioning AEW and also Japan a lot in his promos. It may be in Spanish, but y'all know I translate. So he's been mentioning it a lot in his promos. So if you're not aware of what happened in AAA last month, but what had happened was Andrade had reconnected with his old OG, and that was his best friend, his dad's best friend. And you know, AAA is their storylines go by family.
Yeah, it's fathers and sons.
It's a father and son thing.
Brothers
it goes by family.
Nephews, yeah.
And Andrade has reconnected with his father's best friend. The name is not coming to me now because I've been drinking. But it's not coming to me right now. But if you don't know what happened at AAA, Andrade attacked Psycho Clown during a match and took Psycho Clown's mask off and just displayed it. Now, if you don't know the history between Psycho Clown and Andrade, their beef go as far as back as their dads. And you know, Psycho Clown's dad is Porky. Rest in peace, power to him. He died a long time ago. That's his dad. His dad and Andrade's dad always had a rivalry. So their rivalry goes as far as back as that. Also, I want to mention that Tony Khan did invite Vikingo. The only thing that's stopping Vikingo right now is the visa right now, the visa situation. Once they get that established, y'all will see Vikingo in AEW, and I can't wait for y'all to see him. He's probably one of the best high flyers in the world right now. If you never seen Vikingo, I will have a AAA Spaces next month because Triple Mania Part 2 will take place next month. The Hardys are scheduled for it. I really think Jeff should pull back from it because he's not ready for that. If he's already tired for this shit, he has nothing for what's going on for 2 weeks. So they need to probably pull out, but they probably won't because the fans. The fans in Mexico would like to see Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. So, the Young Bucks did do a promo on the BTE with Vikingo saying that, it basically inviting him to come to AEW to get his AAA title snatched for him. You had that, you had Psycho Clown, and then you also had, I want to say Dragon Lee also cut a promo as well. most of them has been directing towards people in New Japan and also in AEW. So that's why I feel like they may not be as heavy on the card, but they may fill the card for I think Psycho Clown. Yeah, it's been over. That's been over. But yeah, so I think that they may be on the Forbidden Door card. If they're not, then that's fine. But the way that they've been talking, I feel like they may be in it. So don't be surprised if you see Andrade and Roosh they're speaking on someone else other than someone that's on the AEW card. Because if they're speaking on someone, it may be Psycho Clown, and we may see Psycho Clown in AEW soon. So if you don't know who Psycho Clown is, he's probably the John Cena of AAA. That's the best description I can give you.
No, but I mean, Roosh, Dragon Lee, Bandito, Flamita, they were all in ROH as well, and that's starting back up again. Tony Khan's going to need bodies to fill that roster besides people like Billy Yuta, Samoa Joe, Jay Lethal that have kind of been going back and forth between. I'm excited to see all those guys. Bandito, especially, he's a guy that they wanted to get right away when they started AEW and didn't. I'm also glad he didn't go to WWE based on how the last year shook out with people over there, and then same thing like Dragon Lee and Triple H wanted the Banditos, the Dragon Lees, and those guys were like, we're kind of too young to sign deals like that. We want to explore our options. But again, if you've seen Dragon Lee and Hiromu Takahashi have insane matches, I mean, just look up Bandito highlights and he's insane. And I think that's the extra element AEW needs. They can't just keep relying on Penta and Lucha and Phoenix for Lucha.
Yes.
You gotta bring in these other guys as well. I think there's like Ray Horace is another one. Maybe that's the stable they need is a Lucha stable with Andrade and Roosh. I mean, they were part of the inaugural Los Ingobernables de Mexico, right? When it was then they did La Faction when they were in ROH, just offshoot of that.
And I've recently seen Tony Khan interact with Lucha Blog on Twitter. So I'm like, okay, he may be trying to bring those guys in because I also didn't say, but if you want a description of what happened at Triple Mania, the interaction between Bandito versus Andrade in that triple match, everything. Bandito and Andrade,
Andrade's a guy who's been underutilized lately, and hopefully when he comes back from his honeymoon, he can kind of get back in the mix. Maybe he's a challenger for CM Punk or Scorpio Sky, but we'll have to wait and see.
TNT Championship. But yes, I'm gonna, you guys, if you are really interested in getting into Lucha, I'm going to be doing the spaces again like I did the last time. It was very successful. I'm doing another spaces with the other three that was with me on Triple Mania Part 2. Now, Triple Mania Part 2, the only American people that's on the card is the Hardys. This one is just strictly luchadors and luchadoras on the card. So I'm going to do that space. I may do it on y'all spaces. I'll probably do it on y'all spaces too. But I'm going to do a spaces on there. I know they also recently signed Denise from Fightful as part of it. You know, no disrespect to her, Queen of Lucha right here. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, because I've been watching, and y'all know my grandmother been, she also helped me because she's, but I'm going to do the Luchador Spaces. I'm going to do it June 18th. It's on Fightful. It's only $10. Y'all should just watch, because just like people was shocked that Johnny Elite debuted at AEW, I knew he was going to debut because Johnny Elite is part of the Elite in Mexico. And if you didn't watch Triple Mania, he was with the Young Bucks, Sammy, and Tay Conti. And they're all part of the faction, the Elite in Mexico. So I knew he was going to debut. But a lot of people didn't know that because y'all don't watch Triple Mania. And y'all have to kind of start watching Triple Mania because they are part of the Forbidden Door.
I forgot the Johnny Elite thing actually happened. I
didn't. I love, you know how
I know.
God.
You know.
What just happened?
I don't know.
When he showed up, I was like, oh, him.
That's what I'm saying. People was just like, how they get? But y'all, he's part of the Elite in Mexico. And
Johnny Gargano better than Johnny Impact, Johnny whatever. Yeah.
I love Johnny Elite. I'm so glad he got a pop. I'm glad it's not Gargano. I didn't want him. I would have turned the CB off.
Wow. But I think
I'm
that's
sorry.
it.
I can't get into him. I never could.
Rip.
He looked like Abraham Lincoln. I'm sorry. You seen Abraham Lincoln? You seen the vampire movie, Abraham Lincoln Vampire?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I'm aware of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, yes.
He looks just like him.
No, don't you do that. No.
I need Tay to get super kicked. If you enjoy Tay getting super kicked by Penta at Triple Mania, I'm telling you, don't need to watch Triple Mania because Luchadoras, they need their respect now. I'm trying to tell y'all, if y'all are here for the women's wrestling, y'all need to include the Luchadoras. And no, Sexy Star, not the one that heard it. What's the name? It's not her. It's a different girl. They have rights to the name, and they just get
they recycle that way. There was a whole thing with
It's not the same person. She's even banned. She's banned from AAA, so it's not her. It's a different girl.
But I think that's it, right, for episode 1.
That is it for episode 1. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're not going to go live all the time. We're only going to go live for special occasions. It's just live for today because it's my first live show.
Have to.
I want to thank y'all guys for supporting me, for supporting Drip at BRP. That's my work husband, so treading lightly on him because I don't play about him. Droplet, you know what I'm saying? But thank you for supporting me, supporting Public Enemies. They're really the Breakfast Club of the IWC. So much they have in store. Y'all not ready. But I'm going to be recording on Mondays, and the shows will premiere on Tuesday, so it won't be a lot of live shows. It will probably be only live shows for pay-per-views and stuff like that. Something important.
Subscribe. Stay tuned.
Something important. Not a lot, though. I'll make sure y'all follow me at Dastardly Duo 3. I will still also do Dastardly Duo podcast. It's more of a historic podcast because Miko is such a wrestling historian, so you might learn something. We will have a new episode dropping this Saturday. Me and him. It's just an audio only, no video or nothing like that. Also, like I said, I will do Triple Mania Part 2 Spaces. I may do it on Public Enemies podcast Twitter, or I may do it on my Twitter, which is Dastardly Duo 3. Along with Benji, along with my some more people. You're more than welcome to join. I know most of y'all have inboxed me saying that y'all trying to get into it more. So for y'all content, y'all are more than welcome to join. You can be a speaker as well if you have questions. The last one, it was very successful. I had up to 200 people in there. People was asking questions and things like that. You're more than welcome to join the spaces, but you will get kicked out if you're with the ignorance because y'all know I don't play that shit. So join the spaces on the 18th. Triple Mania Part 2 does start at 7. They start on time sometimes. Mexicans is just like Black people. They start. They just, and I can say that my grandmother is Hispanic, so that's what I'm saying. Like they start on the same time, as Black people sometimes. So that tends to happen.
I thought this would be the one show where no one would say crazy things, but
It's me. And you know,
I have to deal with it with Math, with Cal, with Fam, with Banks. Now you like.
Shout out to all you guys in the comments that were active. I'm sorry we didn't get to post most of y'all comments, but I see all of y'all. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for supporting on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. All of y'all, thank y'all so much. I'm going to do appreciations to all my supporters. Just know that. I don't want y'all to be a victim of the TWF awards, but nobody's safe. You will get a trophy for the TWF. So trend lightly, don't say nothing stupid, or I'm gonna be like, hey, look, this stupid person said, let's laugh at him. Also, give a shout out to my work husband, Drew.
Hey, thank you.
The cleanest white guy.
Oh,
the cleanest white guy in the IWC. He takes baths. He get his hair cut. Shout out to my work husband.
That was the thing. I was like, people are actually gonna meet me. People are gonna meet me in person, and then be like, "Oh wow, like he's actually like one of the good ones," which I guess is the story of my life. But no, thank you for allowing me to be part of this. Again, I think when you'll have another guest, I probably won't be on. Hence the whole Keeks and Friends. Get some new voices, interesting voices to have conversations again about AEW, what they love about it. But you can expect me here to be here when you need me, talk about AEW again, like because I'm one of the few people in my circle that likes it. Not to throw shots at the BRP crew, but I'm one of the pro AEW people within them. Even though Cal does like Blackpool Combat Club and all that, everyone kind of has their preferences. Math with Ricky Starks, Fam with MJF in a way, but coming here and talk about AEW with you, which is kind of what we bonded over with Twitter the last kind of year and a half or so.
Yes, I'm trying to convince Drew to be he's not fully on the fun side.
No, I am. I am just like it's just not always rose-colored glasses. I'm willing to see the faults, but I do prefer them over WWE. I could say that easily. But it's also like not everything is great. But when stuff is great, it's great. But
if every
again, they're about to give us a New Japan crossover show. I can't hate on. I can't be like, oh, I'm like, yes. Like I might actually have to order that one.
All right. I will have different guests on the show because it's AEW and Friends. If you are a strictly AEW fan, or if you are fair.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the fair. If you're fair when it comes to AEW, I will gladly have you on the show with me because Drip is part of BRP. And I understand my work husband, he's so busy. And sometimes he can't be on there with me. So I have my friends. If you're fair. Now, if you don't like AEW, you ain't getting on my show because you're going to get cussed out in front of everybody. If you want to see me cuss out somebody, now it may be a few that I probably won't on here. It's some of them that I do want on here because I want to cuss them out publicly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you gotta once a month you gotta have a non-AEW person to be like.
It ain't gonna be just strictly AEW. It's gonna be a few that is this anti. Just
you gotta have someone who be like, yo, watch this shit. You like this shit?
Just a few that y'all want. Like I've had requests of a few accounts that they wanted me on the show just to see me get off on them, and I will gladly send them an invitation. So thank y'all for tuning in. I love every single one of you guys. The merch is coming. Ladies, Keeks on Cheeks is coming. Keeks on Cheeks. Yeah. And a background for a lot of people y'all don't know. I've called Keeks because of BRP. Matt from BRP called me Keeks, and I've been sticking with it for the entire time. I just want to put it out there.
He calls everyone.
I say it all the time on why I'm called Keeks, but I want to say it on my show. Now you will have to ask Matt why he called me Keeks. I don't know why. He won't tell me. I mean, I probably know why, but I ain't gonna say it on here. but Matt from BRP, Black Wrestling Podcast, he called me Keeks, and I remember when he said it, and I'm like, my name is Kiki. That's really my name is Kiki. And I'm like, my name is Kiki. He said, no, your name is Keeks. I'm like, no, my name is Kiki. We got into it because he wanted to call me that. And I stuck with it. So Keeks is because of Black Wrestling Podcast. They are my family. I love them to death. I love Public Enemies, Talk of Champions. It's so many. Shout out to Jarvitier. Shout out to it's so many. There's so many of y'all. I've been drinking. So the name's not coming to me right now. No, shout out to Randy and shout out to Eric. Shout out to all y'all. Like all y'all that always supported me. I really appreciate it. Shout out to the AEW mob. Shout out to all y'all that's in the group. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to all y'all. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Jeffrey. It's so many. It's so many people to thank. And I really appreciate all the messages. Everybody that's been excited for this show to happen. I'm going to promise y'all I will give y'all a good show. I'm not here to replace I'm not here to, you have Grab Sody. Shout out to them. Shout out to Phil, Will, all y'all. Shout out to y'all. Keeks, AEW Keeks show is AEW Keeks show. This is only my show. This is only what I can give. If y'all expecting something different, I can't give you that. I can only give you that's coming out of me. You know what I'm saying? I can only give you me. And I've been down with AEW since 2019. I've been at the shows since 2019. So I can only give you my perspective. I can't give you what you've been expecting out of everybody else. That's all I ask. I'm me. Simple as that.
I think we end it right there.
Thank y'all.